welcome to the CLAT Possible YouTube channel. Now this one is one of the most popularly demanded topics, and so hence here I am with it, which is the European Union. How does it work? What do we have to learn from this? And so without wasting any time, let's start it off. Now, to give you a little bit of a perspective as to what is the European Union, certain countries, to be precise, 27 countries right now, they come together and they share their political and their economic philosophies without compromising on their sovereignty, right? So that is basically the gist of this organization. Now let's try to learn whatever we need to learn with respect to this. So now the very first thing for us is there are 27 members. Now the latest member, if they ask us, was actually the 28th member that had become a part of it in the year 2013, and the name of that country is Croatia. But you see, we will talk about it later, that there was this one country called the United Kingdom that sort of exited from this particular union, and so hence then it becomes the latest member, but right now, -1 kar diya, so there are 27 member countries. Now, how was it made? It was made through a treaty called the Maastricht Treaty in 1993. और ये करेगी क्या, इसके क्या legal provisions होंगे? That was given by the Treaty of Lisbon in 2009. We will consider this as the founding year. Like I said, the purpose of this particular union is that we need to share certain political and economic policies to make our lives a little better, but we are not going to compromise on our national sovereignty. The next thing that we need to keep in mind are the various constituent units in the European Union that are very, very important. Now, the very first one is the European Parliament. Now, the European Parliament is directly elected body that represents the people in the European Union. And who are the ones who vote for it? People who are 18 years and above. The president right now of this particular European Parliament is Roberta Metsola, very, very important. So this is like the legislature, correct? And then of course for a legislature, then you have to have an executive. And so for that, we have the European Commission, which is basically the executive body. It is responsible for telling what kind of laws should be passed and how should it be implemented. And the president as of now is Ursula von der Leyen, and she is the one that you keep seeing in the newspaper whenever there is any kind of an international meeting and all. Then there is also the European Council that basically defines the overall political direction कि किस दिशा में हम लोगों ने जाना है, and as a member of the European Union. And the president of the same is Charles Michel as of now. Then they also have something called the Council of the European Union. This represents the various many governments of the 27 member states, and half yearly basis पे 6 महीने के लिए rotational basis पे इनके presidency decide होती है. As of now, the current president is Belgium. So we will keep reading the newspaper कि कब दूसरा वाला आएगा, और दोनों का नाम हमने learn करना है. So the parliament is Roberta Metsola. The commission is Ursula von der Leyen, the one you keep seeing in the newspaper. European Council is Charles Michel, the one who is, making the direction, basically giving an idea as to the direction in which the EU should go in. And then, of course, the member countries are also represented in the Council of the European Union. Let's go ahead. Now, of course, I've already told you, so quickly we will do this. It is elected directly by the European Union citizens, and these are 18 years of age and above. Fine. If we talk about the council and the commission, we've already done it. Let's do it again. Let's keep it very simple. So the commission, I likened it to the executive of our country. So they propose the legislation, they manage the budget, they enforce the laws, and the European Council is the one that is setting the political agenda. Both of them are very, very important for the European Union. Now, like I said, for economy as well as for polity, they've come together. And the biggest thing that they have done is that they have created a single market. This single market allows the, the trade of goods and services with minimum restrictions, right? So they allow the free movement of goods and services and capital and people among the member states. Now, this is something, it is taken from the European Commission itself, but this is talking about the growth from 1993 to 2021. So this is not something that you have to keep in mind. You don't have to learn these figures, but you have to understand that they are together making a lot of money, doing a lot of trade amongst each other, right? the Eurozone is basically those countries that have adopted the euro as their principal currency. मैं क्या बोलने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ, that just because you're a member of the European Union does not mean that your principal currency has to be the euro. In fact, the statistics say that 19 out of 27 member countries use euro as their principal currency. In fact, there are non-European Union member states also that use euro as their principal currency. So you can kindly keep that in mind, right? एंड हमारी सिमिलर इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसीज होंगी ऑब्वियसली, क्योंकि हम लोग अपने सारे 27 मेंबर कंट्रीज की सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के लिए काम कर रहे हैं. Now, then comes a country that basically says, listen, we don't want to be a part of the European Union. Now, you have to understand it this way, that if we become a part of an association, we do have, I'm talking about our constitution, I have a fundamental right of being a part of a legal organization or a legal association. I have a fundamental right to choose whom do I want to associate with, and I do have a fundamental right to also disassociate with them. Now, when you become a part of such a union, you have to abide by certain restrictions that are applicable by the European Union. And well, the United Kingdom did not want to do that because they felt that it is impacting their trade. Was that a good decision? Well, that is for you to decide, because as of now, we also talk about the fact that, there's a lot of economic crisis that is happening in the United Kingdom. But the facts that we have to keep in mind, and two homeworks that I will give you, is that firstly, they did something known as a referendum, wherein they asked people, do you want to be a part of the European Union? Do you not want to be a part of the European Union? What is the homework here? You will go and figure out who was the head of the government at that time in the United Kingdom. And finally, the UK officially left the European Union on the 1st of February in 2020. Again, you will go and figure out who was the head of the government at that time, right? And so now, long story short, there are a lot of other things. Maybe we can also take up another video wherein I talk about the trade restrictions in UK, in Northern Ireland. There's something called the Windsor Framework, the Northern Ireland Protocol, but that we'll do on another day, right? So that is what Brexit is also all about. It's Britain का exit, है ना? अच्छा, फिर क्या होता है, जैसे हमारा RBI है, वैसे इन लोगों का यूरोपियन सेंट्रल बैंक है, that basically serves as a central bank for all the euro and the countries that are in the eurozone, the countries that have their principal currency as the euro. So this is the European Central Bank. It's in Frankfurt in Germany, and Christina Lagarde is the one who is heading the European Central Bank as of now. And finally, there is one thing that you need to keep in mind, and that is that the European Union has also been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2012. Right? So that is important, and of course challenges तो होंगे ही, because आपने क्या किया है, अपने लिए आपने कुछ फ्री मूवमेंट की और आउटसाइडर्स के लिए आपने रिस्ट्रिक्शंस लगाए. सो किन्हीं कंट्रीज के लिए अच्छा है, किन्हीं कंट्रीज के लिए अच्छा नहीं है. दैट इज जस्ट फॉर योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग, नो नीड टू लर्न एनीथिंग आउट ऑफ इट. Now, there is another thing that is being mentioned in the news these days, which is that France has, rolled out a digital Shenzhen visa, and there is going to be the Paris Olympics also that is going to happen in 2024. तो ये Schengen zone क्या है? तो पहली बात तो यूरोपियन यूनियन 27 मेंबर्स. यूरोपियन यूनियन क्या है? एक सिंगल मार्केट है, सिमिलर economic and political philosophies without compromising our sovereignty. Then we come to the Eurozone. Eurozone is those countries who have accepted euro as their principal currency, which need not be all the European Union countries, which we've just done, the stats, right? 19 out of 27. And there are also non-EU countries that have accepted their principal currency to be the euro. So they are also in the Eurozone. तो ये Schengen zone क्या है? ये है जहां पे कोई बॉर्डर रिस्ट्रिक्शन ही नहीं है. यहाँ पे भी 27 कंट्रीज है, यहाँ पे भी 27th member Croatia है. That it became a member in 2023. So you can move from one area to another in a Schengen zone and minimum or nil border restrictions. That is what this is all about, right? So it was signed in 1985 by 5 European Economic Community members, and this was Belgium, France, Germany, Luxembourg, and Netherlands. Kindly learn that, right? And of course, I just told you free movement of people, goods and services, etc. Right? So Schengen के zone के features क्या है कि internal borders में eliminate कर दो routine border checks, और if I am a part of the Schengen zone, then no border checks here, but anything outside that, there will be border checks. So external borders, strengthen the external borders to ensure security within the area. And finally, I mean, of course, I already told you that Croatia was the 27th member and it became a part in 2023. And certain things that you can keep in mind कि Schengen zone में भी कुछ non-European Union countries भी हैं, जैसे कि Switzerland, Norway, Iceland. अच्छा, ये इन चारों का नाम हमने तो कहीं और भी पढ़ा है. इंडिया के साथ इनकी कोई agreement हुई है. तो kindly go and revise that and kindly comment in the chat box if you already know about it. Right? So that is that about the European Union. Thank you very much for watching this video. And if you found it interesting, kindly like the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.